So, after the struggle of getting to Yogyakarta, the first day of the ASEAN ASEAN conference has finally come and I made it to the venue. This is part 3 of my Yogyakarta vlog series and I will link the previous videos down below. Thomas and I shared a grab car from the hotel, which took us maybe 2 minutes. And here's our kit. I showed the ID a few minutes back, and this is the tote bag. Super pretty, and here's, I think, a bookmark made of leather. And here is the program book that contains the program and all of the abstracts of all of the presenters, including mine. Here I am in the program. I showed myself in a video writing the conclusion to this paper, and I will link that video down below. And here is my abstract, which I submitted earlier this year and which got accepted in May. And they also gave us a little notebook, which matches the tote bag and a pen. Let me just show you around the lobby a little bit. We're at the auditorium of the Universitas Sanata Dharma. And there is Thomas Leonard Shaw, an academic with his own published body of work, and that is my bag smart duffel, all bright and bushy-tailed for the job at hand. So this is the beginning of the conference, and there is a welcome program, which was very nice. Let me share some short clips. Here's the president of the university and his message.
We lack a common narrative once again. Bruno Latour, one of the greatest thinkers I think on the subject so far, has gone even further by saying that our situation is marked actually by epistemological delirium, because we no longer know how to think correctly about our situation and existential predicament.
And here is Dr. Chitra Sankaran introducing the ASEAN Ecocriticism Conference for this year.
ASEAN Conference was global in the local eco-criticism in Southeast Asia. You must remember at that point in time, this being a very initial venture, we had no idea about the kind of interest that this kind of conference would elicit in Southeast Asia.
At around 10 o'clock, we had our coffee break, and these snacks are just so wonderful. They're too pretty to eat, but of course I ate them. I ate all of them, and they were all delicious. This one is interesting. This contains meat, I think, and that green thing is a piece of chili. Then we had our first speaker.
And I also use ecofeminism because it looks like these two can be combined, because both talk about control over women, control over nature, that is part and parcel of patriarchal and capitalist logics.
I'll ask you to state your name and university affiliation, if possible. Thank you. Any question?
Something that is also echoed in Christine Suchenden's novel, The River Song, where she's also talking about how the history of the river people and the people who lived in bumboats in Singapore River for generations has just been erased from Singapore history. So,
sciences, and then you mentioned about the river voices. The problems of the river is the voices is not are not heard. And I would love to, I got inspired by your presentations regarding how to bring this river.
A human being can sing only, but I don't know whether it falls into the category of post-human, but the idea is to give river voice. Although by giving, it means that we are higher. Is it true? By giving, and then we fall into the trap of anthropocentric. Well, I cannot answer that.
And then it was time for lunch, but lunch was in a different building, a short walk away, because that building is also where the panel discussions will be. Now, for the rest of the video series, I will only share videos of the senior speakers, not the panel discussion, because the panel members are a mix of senior academics and beginning academics, and I don't have permission from the young ones to show them on YouTube. But I can share super short video clips from the senior academics because their lectures have been videotaped and live streamed a billion times over the years.
Sa other building rin ba yung panels?
Panels? That I don't know. I'll open my... Lunch was very hearty. These look like our traditional Filipino food, but the taste is so very different. I like it a lot. And that tea came from this dispenser right here. It is so pretty. And later on for dessert, I also had these. Now, this is the food from the coffee break after the first set of panel discussions for the day. Again, there is delicious food. And at 4:30 p.m., the discussions were wrapped up and we had to return to the auditorium for the welcome dinner. But let me just show you the view from here. And here's the welcome dinner, where we also got to watch a cultural show. Let me share it with you.
But for us, it is also a new thing because we introduced several new initiatives here. For instance, this is for the first time we have panel proposals. Panels, we invite proposals for panels, and also we open eco tour.
It is yet again another dance. However, this time it is a dance called Gregret Ngaruji, or Grengseng Anggata Ngarah Rukun Nyawiji, which translates to actively arouse the spirit of unity towards harmony. In the arts in particular, and in building the nation and state in general, to raise a fervent spirit and longing, the desire of artists to unite and move forward together to achieve their dreams. This burning spirit and longing are expressed in various movements.
As usual, the food was great, and the talk at our table was so chaotically lovely. We talked about karaoke songs and ecocritical theory, and publishing, and food, and a bunch of other topics that don't usually go together, but it all made sense to us. This was my dessert. That's ice cream and gelatin. And then we all went home early. Once again, I had to plug in all of my devices for charging. And here they are. My presentation is tomorrow morning, and I'm all prepared for it. Over prepared, really, so the anxiety is less. But there is still anxiety. But overall, all in all, it was a really good day.